Hey, what's this? Snoop StarCraft here. This is Snoop casting along with my partner.
Snoop.
On the top right side, we got Millennium's Dayshi.
On the bottom left side, we've got Billowy, the blue Protoss. Now tell us about this tournament.
This is from the Extra Team Story Cup. As it is, Team Millennium and Team MVP are both 1 and 2 in the standings, so we should expect a really good matchup throughout these couple of games that we're going to see played.
Yep.
We do have ourselves Protoss versus Terran, so we'll see what these players like to do in this situation.
Proxy oracles, buddy. I don't know, man. I've been killing this matchup. Aren't they planning to do something with the Banshees or something like that?
There is a custom map they made where they changed a few things that might go on in the future patches, like such as they're thinking of decreasing how much gas Banshees or cloak for Banshees. They're thinking of changing it for 100-100 instead of 200-200.
Yeah, it costs 200 gas right now.
Yeah, so with that option, Terrans can be a little bit more aggressive with those Banshees, as they pretty much got extinct.
Yeah,
in Heart of the Swarm.
I feel like they don't have a place anymore. I mean, you see it rarely, and usually it's kind of gimmicky, but they just don't really have a use anymore. There's just better harassment units, and it's not that hard to get a detector. Especially when units like the Widow Mine and cheaper DTs and stuff like that, they force the other player to get detection earlier in Heart of the Swarm. So I don't know. For me, Banshees are kind of a lost cause right now.
Let's see what this.
Oh, we're gonna see a Reaper opening here. And that'll go on until the first Stalker gets out, which should be right after the Zealot here. We're gonna see an expansion off the back of this. Reaper's just gonna go ahead and stay around, get some early intel, maybe kill off a probe or something before the Stalker gets out. See if we can get anything done with that. Is deciding to get the reactor after that first Reaper pops.
With it, well, keep in mind of our previous conversation with the cheaper Banshee. Do you think that would just promote longer macro games, or just more cheese?
To be honest, dude, in the lower leagues, you're going to see a lot more Banshees just for fun, but I can't see it changing a lot. I mean, are you thinking you might be able to get away with 1 gas Banshee, something like that?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because, I mean, not having to grab that second gas may promote more Banshee play, but I still don't feel like it's going to do much, man. This Reaper is moving into the main base, going to poke around. Mothership's just going to chase that. Might be able to pick off a probe here if Billowy's not careful, but he does micro that away. This Reaper is pretty much useless except for scouting information. But he does know the timing of the expansion, and he can get a general idea of the early unit composition. He doesn't see any sentry popping or anything like that, so he's going to know what's up. While Billowy, on the other hand, won't know the timing of the expansion, or whether he's grabbed a second gas, started his upgrades, which he actually has started his +1 upgrades. So there you go.
Yeah. That is a very early +1 tag for the Terran here, so we might see a little bit of aggression with that +1 tag here.
He's probably going to try and grab an early stim with this tech lab. I'm assuming he is going up to 3 racks, and there's no factory going down. He is dropping a defensive bunker, but we are going to see a timing here out of him off the 2 base, at least some sort of bio pressure. He's definitely going to try and assault that natural a little bit, and if that doesn't work, he can always grab his 3rd and just play the deny the 3rd game. Billowy opting to grab a forge himself along with the robo there. He is going to get the observer out, so that's going to be good for getting some intel. A little hit squad of Marines.
Looks like Dayshi is moving on with 9 Marines, so 9 Marines could cause trouble just for his composition, which is of 2 stalkers, or 3 stalkers, I should say.
Yeah, little hit squad of Marines moving out here. Might be able to.
Photon overcharge.
He does. These are going to get stopped right at the front gate. They're going to be posting up right at the choke point because he's not going to be able to run by or anything like that. Photon overcharge is going to go down here unless, yeah, he's moving the mothership core. The only way that would have worked is if he could have got right under it and sniped it before Billowy noticed, but he's too good for that. Yep, and they're going to post out right outside there. Turret is going down, almost as if Dayshi expects maybe DTs to hit the front.
We do see Twilight Castle being thrown down, so... Well, we're two other gateways, so we might see some gateway pressure here as well.
He's going for armor, make note of that, so I could see him getting charge and going for more of a Zealot. Heavy composition. I like where this observer is, but I'd like to see a second one out on the field at some point, maybe closer to Dayshi's ramp, so you can see what kind of reinforcements are coming up. Whether
he does have two observers facing both sides, all the entrances of his base, but I think he just needs to push it a little bit more. So he has more time to react to what he's...
Yeah, that way he can get, a warp cycle, and by the time they get there, you'll have another warp cycle, and you can get exactly what you need, whether it be sentries or stalkers. There is a Templar Archives going down, and he is getting charge and a warp prism, so we're going to see a lot of Zealot Archon harass, probably teching into Storm, and grabbing the Robo Bay when he gets, is it the Robo Bay? Yeah, the Robo Bay, when he gets third. I always mix up the facility and the bay. But we do have an engagement here, and the Marines are walking up the ramp, stimming through. A couple warped in stalkers here. Might get melted, but these Marines are going to get cleaned up. And Billowy didn't really take any damage there.
He did lose the mothership core.
He did, but the photon overcharge went down, and he was cost efficient enough that, the Terran's probably going to have to start doing some drops. Billowy's going to start getting those Zealots and Archons, and the Terran's going to have to spread his forces out and keep them moving around in those two bases.
But in the English last time, we do see the Protoss did lose more units than our Terran did, though.
Yeah, that's going to get pushed back. He's going to go drop on the high ground here. Going to get a few shots up. Might be able to pick off a unit or two before he's pushed back down to the low ground. Zealot Warp in there, going to push that down.
This is the one thing about when Protoss goes charge instead of blink, is that this drop harass can just keep...
It can be very hard to shut down the medevacs. So the longer these medevacs are up, they're just going to be floating units up and down, and you're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to move out of your base. Your warp-ins aren't going to be cost efficient because your army's split up. You're not engaging all at once, so he's going to be able to lose a Marine or two there, but he's going to be able to pick off a couple Zealots. So he's being cost efficient. At the same time, he's keeping the Protoss from getting a third, and he's keeping them from being aggressive. But at the same time, Billowy is teching up to Storm here, and when he does have enough Templar, you can just feed back, shut down those medevacs all day.
Well, we do very similar supply. 109 for the Terran, 104 for the Protoss. That +2 weapons going for the Protoss.
Although Billowy does have 10 more workers, so the army advantage will go to Dayshi here. But this is not a good choke point for those Zealots, but decent Storm, but he almost anticipated Dayshi to back up there with that Storm, but he didn't. He just stood in front of it. But he was able to fend that off. Not too bad on the losses there. Supply's still relatively even. I love this pylon at the third base because it's gonna let him know if Dayshi's gonna keep pumping units or whether he's gonna try and macro, and that's gonna let him know what he needs to build.
I would love to see some Dark Templars here. Just run straight into the third base.
Billowy gonna grab a third, and given the circumstances, I like his decision here. He's got the map vision, he's got the backstab and proxy pylon. He's got a backup pylon at the top. Just grab your third here and keep enough solid Archon to hold out any bio play.
Dayshi will scale this though with that one main patrol in there. And my Marine just survived with his life right there. Very fortunate Marine we have there with 11 health. Although we'll see if that one Zealot just pick him off.
That pylon paid for himself. Sorry, I wasn't watching. I was watching my favorite pylon at the third there go down. Another pylon getting taken out here. We do see Dayshi grabbing Ghosts though, and that's going to be good here. I would like to see Billowy transition into some Colossus here, because once these Ghosts get out, it's going to be kind of hard to maintain the Archon Storm, you know, that he's trying to go for here. Dayshi's got a pretty big army here, and with those Hellbats, that's going to be able to soak up a lot of Zealots here. If he can get the Emps down, he'll absolutely be able to mow through Billowy's composition here. It's all going to come down to these three Ghosts right at the front here.
Yes, especially if he EMPs those
he does float, and he decides to go for the snipes, and that's to keep them from morphing into Archons right after he empts the energy. Just, you know, a little crafty move there, but he does move in, and there's Storm's now arriving, and there's a good Storm right there. Takes out, at least like 12 Marine. How many kills did that one Templar get? I can't check, he morphed into an Archon. But great Storms from the high ground here, and Dayshi needs to watch where he's engaging.
That one Templar, I believe, got 9 kills.
Yeah, no, I just saw all those Red Marines go down from him. See, he moved that Observer up, and that's going to be great, because he can spot any reinforcements coming in here, and he knows that he did good on that engagement, so Dayshi's going to be looking to do some damage to try and get back. Third, not saturated at all, while Billowy's got full saturation, so Dayshi's going to have to make a move here.
We do see a Zealot counterattack on Dayshi's third base here, which I love that. The little hidden pylon there just...
And again, he's going to delay mining at the third. Now, Dayshi has the composition to deal with Billowy's army. He just needs to get the right engagement. He's got a ton of medevacs. Colossus now being pumped, and Thermal Lance on the way, so there is going to be a time limit here. The one Colossus is out any more than this, and Dayshi's going to start having a really hard time dealing with this, especially with the economic advantage that Billowy has taken on that third base. Another little round of Zealots here evading. Let's see if they get spotted here. They're going to hide at the top of this ramp, and Dayshi's going to take out the pylon, but oh, there. Second squad comes in, cleans that up.
Although Billowy's main army composition is edging towards Dayshi's natural.
I don't think he wants to go for the natural there, because I think Dayshi will be more than happy to run right through the natural and just take out the base here. He's going to want to do it soon before the Colossus get too heavy. These Ghosts, very important here. He's got to be careful. One does go down, good Storms on the Ghosts there, and he's walking his army through all these Marines in the red. One Storm will just take this army out. And with the Colossus here, it might be too much.
I think he just boxed him out too far here away from his natural expansion.
He's going to commit now. He's boxed himself into the natural here. We're going to have a big engagement. I'd like to see some Storms, but there's no High Templar in sight. These Colossus are alone. Dayshi does snipe one, doesn't get the second one at the cost of almost his entire army there, as he was enduring the storm to try and get that Colossus down. Now let's just see where we settled out after that. We've got no third base for Dayshi. He is moving his natural command center over, but he did snipe the natural there. Now, incomes for both players are relatively low right now, so every unit is going to count. Actually mixing a Reaper into his bio there. I'm not sure if that was an accident or not, but another Ghost going down. Billowy just trying to pick off a unit here and there. That's the stragglers or reinforcements. Starting to get Vikings now, reactor Vikings. He just doesn't have a lot of money, and that's his problem right now. He's either got to build army or Vikings. He doesn't really have enough to keep his production up. That third.
Going back to that one engagement though, those crosses did not engage the army properly. They were shooting the reinforcements that were coming in instead of focusing on that main army.
Yeah, just wasn't getting the splash damage that he needed, and he had the angle too. He should have been able to mop up that a little easier, I think. But at the same time, he has had his third base a lot longer. Good. I like the angle here for Billowy. He's got that corner where you can just get the storms off, and you know the AI seems to mess up a little bit. But the storms going down, taking out a lot of this army, hitting the Vikings too. Only one Viking left, and there's just
no more Zealots though, so
he does get a few more worked in there, and it might just be enough losing one Colossus. But I think one might just be enough here if he keeps microing it back like this. Working at a couple High Templars here. I'm not sure if that was the right decision. No, it wasn't. And we get a GG from Billowy, and Dayshi barely takes that one.
Well, this was game one of a best of 9 series between Team Millennium and Team MVP. Millennium is up 1-0, so we'll see how Dayshi does in the second game.
Alright, game 2. Let's do it.